Can Djibouti be the next Dubai? A question that's been buzzing in the air as this small East African nation unveils its ambitious Vision 2035, a vision that seeks to transform Djibouti into a global logistics and commercial hub, mimicking the success of Dubai. And while Djibouti might not be a household name just yet, it's making strides in 5 key sectors, namely transportation and logistics, telecommunications, tourism, fishing and aquaculture, and the light industry. Each sector is being meticulously developed with the hope of propelling Djibouti onto the world stage as a major player. But does Djibouti have what it takes to become the next Dubai? Well, that's a question we'll be exploring in this video. So stick around as we delve into the vision, the execution, and the potential outcomes of this audacious plan. Before we delve deeper, please remember to hit like and subscribe for more exciting videos. Now, let's unpack the 5 sectors Djibouti is focusing on for its growth. First up is transportation and logistics. Djibouti, with its strategic location, serves as a gateway for trade to and from countries like Ethiopia, South Sudan, and beyond. The government is investing heavily in expanding and modernizing its port and railway infrastructure. This sector has the potential to catapult Djibouti into a major player in global trade. Next, we have telecommunications. The country is already a hub for high-speed fiber optic cables, connecting East Africa to the rest of the world. With further expansion and modernization, Djibouti could become a leading center for digital services. Thirdly, there's tourism. Djibouti's unique geographical features, including Lake Assal, the lowest point in Africa, and the lunar-like landscapes of Lake Abyei, offer an untapped potential for ecotourism. The government is working to exploit this potential by investing in hospitality and recreational facilities. The fourth pillar is fishing and aquaculture. Djibouti's extensive coastline and rich marine life provide an excellent opportunity for sustainable fishing and aquaculture. The government is aiming to harness this potential by developing the fishing industry and promoting sustainable practices. Lastly, we have the light industry. Although Djibouti doesn't have many natural resources, it does have one valuable asset: salt from Lake Assal. The government is looking to leverage this resource by developing a light industry around salt extraction and processing. Despite the lack of natural resources and the prevalent cot plant consumption, which may hinder the growth of citizens, the Djiboutian government is determined to overcome these obstacles. They are working tirelessly towards their Vision 2035, aiming to transform the country into a major global hub. The odd working hours, from 7 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon daily, except Friday and Saturday, might seem unusual to some, but they reflect the unique cultural context of Djibouti. These hours allow the citizens to balance their work with their cultural and familial obligations, contributing to the country's overall growth and development. With these sectors, Djibouti aims to transform itself into a major global hub. However, like any ambitious plan, Djibouti's vision faces some challenges. Let's delve into them. Firstly, Djibouti's natural resources are limited, with salt from Lake Assal being the only significant resource. This scarcity means that the nation must rely heavily on sectors like transportation, logistics, and tourism to fuel its growth. However, the lack of resources could also be an opportunity, as it forces the nation to innovate and diversify its economy. Another challenge lies in the widespread consumption of the cot plant, a stimulant that's chewed habitually by a large portion of Djibouti's population. This habit can hamper productivity and thus economic growth. Addressing this issue requires not just regulation, but also a cultural shift, which is not an easy task. The work culture in Djibouti is also unique, with most offices operating from 7 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon daily, except for Fridays and Saturdays. This schedule might seem unusual to outsiders and could pose a challenge for international businesses looking to establish operations in the country. Furthermore, Djibouti is home to several military bases from countries like the United States and France. While these bases contribute to the country's economy and provide security, especially against pirates operating in the region, their presence could also lead to potential geopolitical complications. Yet, it's important to remember that every country faces its unique set of challenges, and it's how the nation navigates these challenges that will determine its success. The government of Djibouti is well aware of these issues and is actively working towards addressing them. It's also worth noting that Djibouti's strategic location at the mouth of the Red Sea offers it a unique advantage, making it a potential hub for trade and tourism despite the challenges. Ultimately, these hurdles are not insurmountable. They require innovative solutions, strategic planning, and the will to overcome. Djibouti's Vision 2035 is a testament to the nation's ambition and resilience. Despite these challenges, Djibouti's vision remains undeterred. So, what does Djibouti look like today? Well, let's dive right into it. Djibouti is governed by a semi-presidential system under which the president of Djibouti is the head of state, while the prime minister is the head of government. Executive power is exercised by the government, whereas legislative power is vested in both the government and the parliament. The country's political landscape is quite stable, providing a strong foundation for its ambitious growth plans. Now, let's talk money. The Djiboutian franc is the currency of Djibouti. Its exchange rate to the euro is approximately 195 francs to 1 euro. This stable exchange rate provides a predictable financial environment for businesses and investors. Moving on to the economy, Djibouti's GDP is currently just over $2 billion. Although this might seem small compared to global giants, remember that Djibouti is a small country with a population of less than 1 million people. That's right, less than 1 million. But despite its small size, Djibouti is a hub of activity. Speaking of size, Djibouti is indeed small. With an area of just over 23,000 square kilometers, it's about the same size as the state of New Jersey in the United States. But don't let its size fool you. Djibouti's strategic location and deep water port make it a key player in global trade routes, particularly for landlocked African countries. And let's not forget, Djibouti is home to more than just humans. Its unique biodiversity includes hundreds of bird species and numerous types of marine life. Coupled with its unique landscapes from salt lakes to volcanic formations, Djibouti presents an unexplored paradise for nature lovers and adventurers. Djibouti is a small nation with big dreams. This phrase perfectly encapsulates the spirit of this nation. Despite its size and the challenges it faces, Djibouti is determined to carve out its own place in the world. And with its strategic location, stable governance, and the drive to grow, it's well on its way to achieving its vision. So, can Djibouti really become the next Dubai? Now that's a question that's been circling around our minds, hasn't it? As we've seen, Djibouti has a clear vision for the future, with its eyes set on becoming a significant player in sectors such as transportation, logistics, telecommunications, tourism, fishing and aquaculture, and light industry. Their strategic location at the gateway to the Red Sea, being a hub for international military bases, and a determination to grow, all seem to be pushing them in the right direction. The country's unique work schedule, from 7 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon, except on Fridays and Saturdays, could potentially foster a culture of efficiency and productivity. But let's not forget the challenges. The lack of natural resources, except for the salt from Lake Assal, means it has to rely heavily on these identified sectors for growth. Then there's the issue of the cot plant. Its consumption could potentially hinder the growth of the country's citizens, a concern that cannot be overlooked. The country's currency, the Djiboutian franc, and its exchange rate to the euro could also play a critical role in attracting foreign investment and tourists, vital factors for a nation aspiring to become the next big thing. The governance of the country, its gross domestic product, population, and the size of the country are all factors that will contribute to whether or not Djibouti can reach its ambitious goals. So, what's the final verdict? Well, it's not for us to decide. The country's future lies in the hands of its leaders and its people. But one thing is certain: Djibouti is a nation with a vision that could potentially see it transform into a major global player, or perhaps the next Dubai. Whether Djibouti becomes the next Dubai or charts its own unique path, only time will tell. Until then, we watch with anticipation as this small nation embarks on its ambitious journey.